All right, good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the work week, all right? And we've got some rain to talk about. That is a huge plus in itself. Hope you all are doing well. I'm wave meteorologist Brian Goode. It is about 14 minutes after 9 as of this live update. Obviously, it's going to be a little later if you're watching the recording back. Quick update on the blog here today to cover the rain. Finally got some rain. Hasn't been a whole lot, but that's all right. We'll take it. And there's more. There's actually more still to come out of this current system, and then we'll get into the one that will influence part of the weekend as well. What I always like to do, of course, is let you guys know if you have any questions, talk to me. If there's a funny story you want to tell, funny joke that is clean for use, we can talk about that. We can talk about, obviously, questions you have on travel. It's the travel time of the year. So as always, your comments are on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. All right, so let's start with the latest on some of the radar views, then we'll get back into some of your questions here in a second. First off, this is nice. Take a look here. These are the rain totals. Wow, big time rain. Louisville, 0.02. St. Matthews, one more extra. St. Matthews always showing off, right? There's Fort Knox, barely in the bucket. Frankfurt, everybody, I don't know what happened to Frankfurt, but a lot of gardens there today were a little happier. About a little more than 1/4 of an inch fell in that area. So where do we stand now on this? Well, I'll tell you what, we actually do have a shower that's moving across the airport at the moment. This is a live look at Ali International. And they've had a passing shower. Look how poor the visibility is. And most of this is just low clouds. And there's possibly still some smoke involved, but I don't think it's anything significant like we've had the past couple of days, which is certainly some good news. All right, so let's get right into the radar. Ooh, that looks nice. Nice to see a lot of the green showing up. There was 2 distinct waves out of this. We were expecting one that would move in at an angle, mainly on the eastern side of Louisville. That has already happened. It's now pushing fast south of Lexington, in fact, heading to the other side of I-75. Now we have the second piece, and this one is going to train itself. It is going to basically track over the same spot over and over again, and it may even have a little bit of a turn to it. So it'll drop down and then a little bit of a turn to the left or right if you're looking at it on screen. That is something I'm watching for as we head toward the mid-morning time period, and then we'll see what happens if it'll hold together even beyond that. But right now, I think it's going to be the lifespan it's got on it, and then we'll end up with dry air and some sunshine later today. But if for Louisville, this is the key part in the weather side of this, is how does this all evolve between now and, say, 1 o'clock? And the modeling really wants to enhance this enough to make it quite interesting to where I do think there could be even some half-inch amounts that could develop. It's possible. Louisville is going to be right on the edge of this one, though. This is one of those PRP could get 0.35, Okolona 0.3, Prospect 0.08. Somebody is not going to be happy about this. But even a 0.5 is not enough to get us out of the drought status that's developing in the area. But still, it breaks the streak of 17 days that we had without rainfall, the longest dry streak we've had in 3.5 years, since 2019. Pretty remarkable. But today we have measurable rain, so that streak is officially over. So this batch will move through. What you don't see on the other side of this here, because I have it turned off, is clouds that are beginning to clear. And we will push the rain to the south here between now and, say, 12, 1 o'clock. The cloud part breaking up and pushing south as well is going to take a little more time. So any warming you're going to get today is going to be very last minute. Until the rain and the clouds move out of the way, you are all that are watching are stuck in the 60s. Once the clouds begin to break up and we get a little bit of sun, you can have a good 10-degree jump in your thermometer. But that will have to happen late. And I'm talking like after 4 or 5 p.m. in many cases. But we still have a strong June sun, so it can still do that, even that late in the day. Obviously, it's going to happen faster to the north, a little bit slower to the south. Here's Futurecast. I want to advance it real fast there, and this is already at 1:30. And you see how it pushed the rain right into the I-64 area. I haven't seen much thunder. I wouldn't rule out thunder. Not worried about severe weather. Just want to at least mention that if you hear thunder, don't think severe weather is happening. This is not a setup for that, but a good little drink of water coming on by. And then we dry the air out. Now, there is a sneaky little hint. I'm not sure if this model will show it. What's the clock there? 5 p.m. Look at around midnight to 2 a.m. It doesn't really show it very well. There is a chance for 1 or 2 smaller showers that may try to form between Louisville and Frankfort. That'd be close to midnight. Just want to mention it. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Otherwise, tonight, we see that gray that expands. That is fog. And the reason why it's there and not areas to the north where you had rain is because of sunshine. If you get enough sun today and you've got a wet ground, the evaporation process will happen fast. You'll improve that to where you don't have to worry as much about fog. However, our southern counties, because the idea that the rain is going to take a little longer to clear your area and you're going to take a little longer to get the sun to come out, you've only got a very narrow window to work with of the sun trying to dry your ground out. So therefore, you're going to have a wet ground and the sun will be setting. So at that point, you would be primed for fog to develop right over wherever that location is. And this is going to vary. This could go all the way up to Bullitt County. It could go all the way up to Oldham. We don't know yet. But in general, central Kentucky is fairly prime for the fog to develop later tonight. Then tomorrow, now you see a couple of green blips there. And the reason why it's doing that only is because the modeling is doing what it's supposed to do. And if you take fog in the morning hours and you get into a new day, and the ground heats up, everyone around you is heating up. But if you have fog, you go from fog to a haze and then to sunny. Because of that delay, your thermometers in your area are lower than areas around you. And that creates a differential heating. And you can actually generate a shower because of that. So that's the reason why there's a couple of green blips in that area where the fog was. That's possible tomorrow afternoon, but I wouldn't worry about it. It's nothing like today's rain chance even. So it's just something I at least want to mention. For anyone that's bored and wants to really know why that's the case, there you have it. Then we get in some cool nights. We may get some of you down in the 40s. It's possible. Beautiful daytime highs. Looks great. Looking good on Friday. Looking good on Saturday. But then we get into some changes on Sunday. Here is one of the latest model runs on the rain trying to combine here this afternoon. On its rain total, you see there's 1/4 inch pretty average. There's a couple half-inch totals around Bardstown area to Lebanon. So again, it's going to be very close how this gets established here. It's already happening on the radar, so we know that's part one. I just don't know. We're going to have to add a buffer zone here of about 1.5 counties probably on either side of where that half-inch potential could fall. But again, if you are in southern Jefferson, your odds are a little better than northern Jefferson will be. We'll take it. Saves you a day of watering. All right. Here's the fog potential, a closer view of that. As you can see there, visibility could get under, certainly under 3/4 of a mile, likely under a half mile, and could even go under a quarter mile. All right. So Saturday is fine. Sunday is still the day we're watching for this low to move through our area from the Midwest. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. As the front moves on by, it is going to try to pump in some warm air. The Euro, especially once it pushes into the 90s on Sunday. The speed of it is the difference. We're going to go with 80s right now, but it is going to be very warm, upper 80s kind of setup, warm and humid. All right, so be mindful of that on Sunday. The rain and thunder will then move in. Will we get severe weather? It's a good question, fair question. Right now, based on the jet configuration the way it is, all the parameters are not there for severe weather to light up on a map here, so that's good. But there are one or two factors that do show up that may lend to a low-end severe risk that would extend on the southern side of this. So near southeast Missouri, perhaps central or southern Kentucky, and then points south. That's the way it's looking right now. I'm not seeing anything right now a little further north, but that could easily change depending on if it adds in the ingredients that we're missing now. But here's the thing. It moves on by. The low itself basically gets stuck because it's a blocking pattern, so it kind of lingers into Monday, keeping us cool. But because it lingers and holds off to, say, Kokomo, Indiana. Has anyone been to Kokomo, Indiana? Right around Kokomo, Indiana is where the low will park. It'll stay there. While it is hanging out there, the jet will continue to flow underneath it. So we will continue to see pieces move on by with showers and thunderstorms rolling through as we head into next week as the heat tries to build. Now, there will be rain around the low. There will be rain and storms on that piece sneaking in underneath. Yes, there is a chance of a gap in between the two of those. Will we be in that gap or not? Knowing our luck, we probably will be. But that's why rain chances right now, we'll have to keep them low until we figure out how the look will be. And that's mainly a next week's problem. Nancy, the timing on the rain on Sunday, everyone's going to have the same on this because it's going to be more of a wall, a north-south wall that comes our way. So in general, you get to the 2 o'clock time period, you should start to see darkening skies once you get to about 5 p.m., thunderstorms, and you should be hearing thunder at that point. Earlier in the day, the better. Later in the day, much more active. And that's the best I can give you right now on a window. Being only Wednesday, this is going to still fluctuate. But that's the way it's looking right now on timing. So I hope that helps even a little bit. All right. Is that it? Any other questions? Here, let me back up so I don't make sure I don't miss any one's concerns. Let's see. What did you say, Dan? What did the socks say to the pants? What's up, britches? Did I just read that? Thanks, Dan. I just read that. It is funny, though. Is it Friday yet? We're almost there. Trust me, I'm ready for Friday. Let's see. Everyone's excited about the rain. Good. Much needed rainfall. Good, Paul. Glad to hear that. Nancy, you are very much welcome. I think you guys are all right. Keep me updated on this rain that moves through here over the next, I would say, 2 to 3 hours. So I'm curious to see what the modeling was showing again at 1/4 to 1/2 inch. I want to know the reality of that. So help me out with some of your totals. Just post on social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever's easier. That would be helpful. Last question. How are the pups and Harry? Dobie and Dandy are good. Spoiled rotten. Harry is doing really well. He's enjoying the outside. He's really the best at taking care of my dandelions right now, which is great. I don't have to worry about any weeding of my flower beds. It's nice to have a tortoise to just kind of roam through the yard and just take care of it for you. Not that I recommend everyone get a tortoise, but yeah, tortoises do come in handy there. All right, guys, thanks for asking. Have a good rest of the morning. I'll be back on coming up at 11 a.m. on midday. See you then.